And good morning from the morning show, coming to you from Arizona Center. And who are you?
I'm Melissa Farley. Who are you?
I'm Marshall Shore. So we're so happy that you are joining us today because we've got another great show to kind of end the week. We've had a really good first week.
We've had a really, really good first week.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed being back and connecting with so many people,
hanging
out with you. It's Friday.
Indeed.
Our last
So
day
yeah.
of the week. Yeah.
Indeed. As we get ready for more fun through the rest of the day. And do we have anybody coming up as a guest soon?
We don't just have anybody. We have probably one of the guests that I've been looking most forward to meet. I don't play favorites, but I've been excited to meet her. We have Courtney Long here with us. And Courtney, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So we know that you have given a TED Talk about money and pleasure and kind of this unlikely connection that exists there. And it's like doing crazy with views of how many people have seen this video. Clearly there people are wanting this information. Can you share a little bit about who you are and how that talk came about?
Yes, absolutely. First, I'm so happy to be here and to connect with both of you. So thank you for having me. I moved to Arizona 20 years ago from Michigan. And at that time, I was eager, just thinking, I'm moving with my boyfriend, starting a whole new life. And I was working as a social worker, and I soon found myself just feeling really unhappy, just like overworked, underpaid, and unhappy in my relationship. And I just felt like something was missing, but I never would have guessed what was actually missing.
Okay.
So fast forward to today, 20 years later, I'm now a sexuality educator and coach and author. And I love helping people light their sexual fire and feel turned on for life.
Wow.
And like you said, I recently gave a TEDx talk in Ireland, Tralee, Ireland, which was such an adventure in and of itself.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way, just
you.
on being able to do that.
Thank you.
Now, so I'm curious, how does one go from being a social worker to a sexual educator? Like, how does that transition happen?
Oh my gosh, many steps along the way. That's for sure.
Wasn't just one big one.
No, it wasn't just one big
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I mean, I became a life coach and then also a certified hypnotherapist and a teacher and started my own business. And I really, at the same time as I was basically teaching people how to be happy, behind the scenes, I was having this whole experience of, I won't share details, it's very, maybe not appropriate for on air.
Yeah.
But basically, I was discovering how important our sexuality is.
Right.
And that it's not just about what happens in the bedroom, but that our afterglow extends into our everyday lives. And there's a bunch of science that backs this up. There's one study from Florida State University where they call it the afterglow effect. They found that after sexual activity, that for 48 hours after, we have elevated levels of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, and oxytocin, the love hormone. And so basically, we feel amazing for 48 hours after.
Okay. So can I ask I'm trying to think how to ask this question.
Sure.
Like, is all sex equal? Like, right? Because there's some really weird situations you could find yourself in, or you could be having sex with a partner that you don't care about. Will it still provide that benefit? Like you should just do it all the time and it doesn't matter?
Right. That is such a good question. In my world, there's different levels of quality of sexual experiences. For the studies that the researchers have done, they haven't measured, was this a really good quality sexual experience? Were you in love with this person or not? I mean, some studies go into that.
Okay.
So they're more looking at the quantitative as opposed to the qualitative.
Exactly.
Really, it's like, yes, you had sex, okay.
That's it, yes. Although this one study I mentioned was for newlywed couples, so I'm assuming they were passionately in love, in that honeymoon phase.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, bring in the money angle a little bit, because I mean, there's those jokes, right, that you see all the time on television shows that are like cop shows or crime dramas, and they're like, usually it's murders from like sex or money, and it's like those are two such powerful drivers in their own right.
Yes.
What is the connection there that you explore?
Yeah, so I had sensed there was some kind of connection, because the more that I was exploring this in my own personal life, I was showing up with more confidence and more creativity, more passion, and I felt that I was attracting more opportunities. I was so much more confident, I was getting more speaking opportunities and putting myself out there in the world more.
Yeah.
And so I felt there's got to be something to this. And then when I dove into the research, I found that actually sexual activity increases our happiness, our health, confidence, creativity, and even our productivity at work. And then when we're thriving in all of those areas, making more money often follows naturally, like maybe having the confidence to ask for a raise or start our own business. And I even found a study, this is so cool, a study that they surveyed 7,500 people and found that the more sexually active someone is, the higher their wages, that they actually made more money. And the researchers know it's not that, sex directly causes, like, oh, have sex, you're going to make more money. But the researchers thought it's because of the well-being effect, that sex improves our health and, like I was saying, our confidence, our happiness. And then we have that glow, that afterglow, which we bring to our work. And it's kind of like channeling our passion into our creative projects or our work projects.
Right.
Yeah.
So the people that you coach and educate now for this, and I'm not asking you to give away all your secrets or anything, but what are some of the basic things that you would kind of encourage people to do to start even becoming aware of how to be kind of conscious of this in their lives?
Yeah, the very first thing is literally making time for it. Because I feel like our society views lovemaking as a luxury, right? Kind of like, oh, if you have time.
Yeah.
And because there's been so much shame around it, and we're just a society that values productivity, not pleasure. And combined that with the shame, and people are so busy, so many people wait until they're exhausted, like right before bed. Like, oh, honey, you wanna get it on now? And you know, the partner's like, roll over. Yeah, exactly.
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So this is what I recommend. I'm gonna get out my fancy calendar.
Ooh.
Is I recommend that we schedule pleasure dates.
Okay.
That it's so important that we actually schedule time for lovemaking into our calendar. And I share this in my TEDx talk, that pleasure dates can be done with or without a partner.
Okay.
Right? So no partner required. It's fun both ways. So this is what it looks like, is getting out our calendar and just scheduling in time. So I'm going to do a heart to symbolize. Maybe we say, okay, we're going to have a pleasure date Tuesday evenings.
Tuesdays just got exciting. Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people will say, well, doesn't that make it less fun? Because, sex is supposed to be spontaneous.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I could see where people would, because my husband said that to me before, because I was like, let's try sexy Sundays,
Ooh,
and he was like,
that.
that's not very spontaneous.
Oh my gosh. One, this is what I say. It's like vacation. We always have to schedule a vacation,
That's
right?
true.
And
Yeah.
Is it any less fun because we schedule it?
Yeah.
Right? No, it gives us something to look forward to. So same with our pleasure dates, and you can still be spontaneous. It's just you have some scheduled,
Right.
and some can be spontaneous. So maybe, let's say, a Tuesday evening, and how about a Saturday morning when you're full of energy
Whoa.
before the end of the day, right?
Saturday morning.
Could you imagine that? So Saturday morning. And it doesn't have to be the same every week.
Yeah.
But you get the idea, is literally making time for it, prioritizing pleasure.
Yeah.
And if someone says, I don't have time for this, then I say, okay, what else can you get rid of on your calendar? Any obligations or anything you could delegate to others?
Yeah.
Because this is so important. It'll
Yeah.
give you more energy to do everything you have to do.
I really fully believe this, because that's something that when I was recovering from burnout, one of the things I started doing was I started scheduling my meditation time, my yoga time, on my calendar. Like I would, block it out on my calendar, because then it felt like, well, this is as equal importance as any other meeting or any other commitment that I have in the day, that I'm going to show up for this.
Well, because your bodies have to recharge.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just deplete. I mean, it's like if you have an e-car and the battery's dead, you're going nowhere.
But I love this conversation too, because so much research and talk has been done lately, I'm sure it has for a long time, but it's kind of just coming into my consciousness about the importance of play. And that's the same thing, right, with pleasure. It's like, you know, you have to have these well-rounded experiences in your life, and so many people don't take that time.
Well, and what I also love is the fact that it's like, okay, you have a heart, so that doesn't necessarily mean you know exactly what's going to happen. It might be a date night where maybe you go to the museum. So, I mean, it doesn't have to always be the same, and it shouldn't always be the same thing.
I would hope not.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's some variation. Maybe it's like, well, you know, there's this really cool show. Let's go see that. Because, again, it's like just that gentle caress.
Right.
That, like, bonding over, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And that conversation, that can be quite tittillating.
That's probably not the 48-hour of afterglow effect, though, is it?
Well, right. Not quite
But
the same.
it could lead to it.
But that's exactly
it's
it.
foreplay.
It's foreplay. And then if you think
completely.
of it as just think of your whole day, think of everything as foreplay. Taking out the trash, asking your loved one or your partner, just saying like, what does your day look like today? What are you excited about today? That's all part of foreplay. So it's kind of like all day foreplay, including the museum outing, date night, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think too, if we take the pressure off too, because a lot of people feel this performance pressure of, okay, well now we've scheduled the time.
Yeah.
Now it has to look a certain way.
So let me take a pill at this time so that way I can be ready for that scheduled time.
Well, I was
right.
going to ask about that. Like, I'm trying to think how to form this. Like, it's almost like a mood thing, right? Like,
Yes.
okay, I've got it on the calendar, but what if I'm having a really bad day? Like,
yes, that's a great question because you might not feel like it. So
Right.
what I would recommend is do a few things to see if you can feel like it, if you can get in the mood, and if you don't, that's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's like at least it's scheduled and you can then reschedule it if needed. But stress lowers our libido, and we're all incredibly stressed like all the time, right?
Yes.
And so this is my number one technique for getting in the mood. It's so simple, but it's literally to relax. To take 15 to 20 minutes before you attempt any kind of lovemaking, just chill out. You know, lay down, even on the couch, and cuddle with a blanket, read a book, you know, maybe do a meditation, go for a walk, whatever's going to help you relax and de-stress.
Yeah.
And then normally what happens is our own natural turn on arises when we relax, because we got to get into that parasympathetic nervous system mode.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And who
that
would
totally
think
makes
of that?
sense.
I mean, normally people will get stressed, like, oh my gosh, I have to perform. And it's like, no, just chill out.
Yeah. Well, I'll say, I mean, this is something that I've been open about in the past, and I actually wrote a blog about it with my husband's blessing, but I went through a lot of trauma, sexual trauma. And so I had to meet with a therapist and work through a lot of things to kind of even get to the place where I felt safe or comfortable, you know, doing this kind of activity. And I will say, it does change and empower you when you kind of develop that connection with your own body. So even I'm kind of returning back to like that idea of like, you don't even have to have a partner, like just taking that time to connect with yourself in that way also yields this really powerful response, I feel like.
Absolutely. Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so sorry that you experienced it. It's absolutely not okay.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you
Thank you.
got help and feel
I know
empowered.
I'm not alone. Sadly, it's a high statistic of people
It's a
that have
super high statistic.
been through things. And so that's kind of why I felt okay talking about it, because I wanted other people to feel not ashamed or not like, you know, something that they don't have to hide it. And so,
yes, absolutely. And just like you said, even connecting with our own body through self-pleasure, it's so empowering.
Yeah.
And also de-stressing. And we all have a right to pleasure, and we're meant to feel really good. And I think that is one of the most important points of all of this, is that we're meant to be happy, to feel good. We're not just machines or AI working all the time, right?
Yeah.
We have the ability to feel pleasure, and when we allow that, it kind of creates this feeling of openness and expansiveness, where we then greet the day with more joy. We greet each other with more joy and more openness and love. And it's just really profound.
Well, this has been enlightening, I feel like, for me.
Well, and also the fact that it's like, you can do this by yourself. So, because you might not have someone who you trust to be in that situation.
That's true.
Or that you want in that situation. So, take matters into your own hands.
Yeah.
Yes, that
So,
no
Literally.
pun intended.
no pun intended, exactly. So yeah.
Or pun intended. I mean, that would be a pretty great place
Either
to
way,
make that pun.
either way, it's all good.
Yeah. So I'm curious, Courtney, you have a little
Yes.
yes. What
Little gift. So this holiday, instead of searching for the perfect gadget, for the perfect gift for your loved one, this is the best gift you can give
Okay.
yourself or your loved one.
Ooh, well,
All
there
right.
you go.
You ready?
I'm wondering if there's batteries in it.
Good guess.
It is not a vibrator. It is a light switch. Okay. What about?
I was
Okay.
say, yeah, what's up with the light switch? I mean, I have those all throughout my house.
That's right. Okay, so if you flip it on,
Sorry. Okay.
it's just a metaphor for our inner technology. We're
Okay.
always looking outside of ourselves for all the answers on, how do we be happy and healthy and wealthy? And the answer is inside of us in what I call our inner technology, which another way to say it, it's our sexual fire. And this, when we turn it on, it increases our happiness and health and confidence and creativity and even our money flow. So instead of searching endlessly for the perfect gift or for all the answers on how to be happy, healthy, wealthy, look inside and start lighting your own sexual fire, again, whether by yourself or with a partner.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Courtney, I love your message. I love what you're educating people to understand.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love the pink. I love everything. This has been
You haven't
so
said
great.
anything
What,
about
her
the shoes.
Because I was fangirling about them for like 10 minutes before the show. Look at these gorgeous shoes. They're stunning. She has
Thank
them in
you.
like blue and turquoise.
Yes, blue and
too.
turquoise too. Yes.
Ah.
So before you go, though, I want you to let folks know if they want to work
Sure.
with you or learn more about what you're doing, how do they connect with you?
Yeah, so you can go to my website. It's CourtneyFayLong.com/TEDx. And there you'll find my TEDx talk, which is so much fun. I adore it. I hope you love it. And then also there's a free gift for you too. It's called the Pleasure Date Experience. So if you make time on your calendar for your pleasure dates, but then you're like, okay, well, what do I do? How do I make this more beneficial than just my regular routine? Then I've got 4 different pleasure dates for you, whether you want some stress relief, maybe you're craving some more energy because you're tired, or you're craving some more love and connection, or you want to choose your own adventure.
Oh, fun. Well, friends, light that fire. Who doesn't love a free gift, too? And we are so grateful that you were here with us this morning, Courtney. We'll be right back after this break with another guest and some things to do and things to celebrate.
Indeed, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I needed that break.
A
Wow.
little spicy?
A little spicy and
Yeah.
everything else. So, welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
I'm Melissa Farley. And yeah, we went a little mature on that segment.
We did, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because
It's
it's
not.
all about keeping a healthy person.
Yeah.
So-
We're very holistic here on the morning show.
If you haven't caught that, yes, we are. So we are coming to you from the Arizona Center.
Yes.
Such a beautiful location. We are so happy to be here.
We love our new home.
Yeah,
We really
it's
do.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And so, I was thinking, well, what kind of history would I want to share? And so, we are going to talk about this date back in 1929.
Okay.
So you're in the little town of Miami, Arizona.
Oh, exactly where I always want to be.
So, and we could go on and on about Miami because it's kind of a, it's a cool little quirky, not much going on now town, but there used to be a lot going on.
Okay.
But they discovered that the Arizona Road Department, they would bring in a heavy magnet to pick up nails, things like that in the street when they were doing construction.
Okay.
And Miami figured out that they needed heavier manholes because that magnet...
They were getting lifted? The manhole covers were
Yeah, exactly. So if you can think now suddenly now suddenly the street is full of all these holes So, yeah.
Were
So
there? I shouldn't laugh. Were there like deaths and injuries because there were no manhole covers?
No, there were no
Oh, okay.
injuries
All
or
right.
anything else because people realized what was going on. But it
Okay.
was just funny that they had to then invest and get heavier manhole covers.
That is really funny.
So
I love that was like documented somewhere, like for us to be able to talk
you know,
about.
I love so much some of the newspapers because there wasn't a lot going on.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah.
right,
Okay.
I mean, it's like so like. And the manhole covers, I mean, that would have been an outlay of cash for somebody. It's
Yeah.
like the city would have been like, oh my God, we've got to like have a pancake breakfast to pay for heavy manholes.
Have you ever been to a pancake fundraiser?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never have, and it's oddly on my bucket list. I don't know why. I
Oh.
just want to do one.
Well, I know somebody who used to do it on a regular basis. So, you know, it's like,
Oh.
let me find out if they're still doing it.
I feel like I just need to tell you all of the weird things that I want to do, and
But
you're
that's
like,
not even,
I
that's
can
not
make
even
that happen.
weird. I mean, it's just lots of carbs.
It is lots of carbs.
So you just have to get ready for a heavy carb day.
Okay.
So if you want to do a marathon the next day, you'd be perfect.
We don't run.
I know, but I brought it up because earlier
we've confirmed this.
We actually were
We
talking
do not
about.
run.
But I was like, you know, want a carbo load before you
Yeah.
go out for a run, and so a pancake breakfast is the perfect opportunity.
We
to do
could go shopping the next day. I would be okay with that.
that. Yes,
Hit a bunch of thrift stores.
indeed.
Yeah. All right. That's our
So-
version of a marathon.
Yeah. All right. So what else we doing?
Well, I'm not ready for things to do, but
Well, you know, then okay, you know,
what?
there's a song. I think it was actually was it one of the Jonas Brothers that dance, dance, dance?
I'm shocked that you know even anything about the Jonas Brothers.
Because one of them was born in Casa Grande.
I know. I always forget that that's your that's your reasoning
that's
for
my
knowing
litmus.
something.
So I know
about
all
the
kinds
Jonas
of wonky
Brothers.
facts because otherwise I wouldn't really know about them.
If
But
you don't have an Arizona connection, you don't exist to Marshall. Essentially,
I can usually find one. That's usually the fun thing. I'm like, oh, well, wait a minute. Well,
that's
yeah.
your party trick.
That is my party trick. So
6 degrees of separation from Arizona.
3.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, we do. It's true. We do have a guest here, and we're pretty sure we're gonna get taught some kind of a routine. I think. If it looks like a routine, I can't guarantee that.
Right,
It might look
exactly.
like chaos.
Who knows?
Who knows?
And you'll at least you'll be able to see it through the laughter.
Sorry, I don't know. I just had like visuals of us just like convulsing randomly.
Oh, God, like a Star Trek, like
Yeah.
when they would do a dramatic interpretation, where it's like they would do those bad dances to the bad music.
Okay, we're having way too much fun. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our guest. She's been on with us before.
I know she's so much fun.
She is so
So
much
why is
fun.
she torturing us like this?
Because we're fun to torture, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll be right back with Brenda, and we'll stop talking about it and finally just
and let it happen.
it all out.
Right.
Yeah,
We'll
let
be
it
back
all
right
out.
after this break, and we'll see you soon. And put your tap shoes on. And welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We are coming at you from the Arizona Center.
Indeed. And, and I think it's official, that rumor that I heard about us dancing.
Can't stop talking about it.
I think it really is going to happen.
Okay. Brenda Foley. Hi, everyone. Here I am. He's been worried about this all week long, this dance step routine. But
I would rather sing than dance. I do neither well.
But before we do that, we'll have to make Marshall just nervous a little bit longer. Why are we learning a dance? What is this from?
Well, so I am involved this season with a show called Scrooge. It's a musical, hence the dancing. And actually, there's also singing. But we are performing at the Tempe Center for the Arts. It's with Arizona Theater Company through the end of the month. And it's based on Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. So I thought it would be kind of fun for you to learn like a little bit of the dance.
Is it super serious or is it like funny? Like, tell me the mood.
So it's the story that everybody knows.
Yeah.
I would say this particular production is on the dark end of things.
Okay.
They lean into the ghost aspect. There are some funny moments. It's very spectacular. Like there's a lot of projections on the set and like moving things.
Oh, cool.
And, yeah, so it's and it's really beautiful. The colors are super bright. The person who designed the costumes actually designed for the Olympics.
Whoa.
So
Oh, wow.
she's very bold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The design team on it is off the hook. It's really incredible. And yeah, so I would say it's definitely family friendly, but I think probably ages like 7 and up, not like your 3-year-olds, because there's some dark, scary stuff. And but yeah, it's also super heartwarming. Everybody cries, and you know, all the things that you're supposed to do at a Christmas Carol.
Now you've done this production before, right? You've been a part of this before?
Yeah, so this production actually is in its second year.
Okay.
This particular version of A Christmas Carol started with Albert Finney movie in the 1970s. And then Leslie Bricusse, who is the composer and writer, he actually got together with the artistic director of Arizona Theater Company about 10, 20 years ago actually, and said, we want to make a new film version. And Matt said, I want to put it on stage first. And then funding fell out. Leslie ended up dying, actually.
Oh.
And so things were on hold for a while. But Matt, in conjunction with the estate, has rewritten the whole new book. So what you're seeing at Arizona Theater Company is brand new, has never been seen on stage anywhere before, and is based on the 1970s film.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so this is our second year. Matt said to us our first year, he's like, it usually takes 2 or 3 years to get it right. So, because he directed How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical version of that. And he said it took them 2 or 3 iterations to get that one.
Yeah.
He directed a version of A Christmas Carol at the Ford Theater in DC. Same thing. He said it took a couple years of revisions and just getting our second attempt at it.
Yeah. I feel like we know that.
Very much so.
We're learning so much.
It's like every day is a dress rehearsal.
Exactly.
It's like maybe in a couple of years we'll get it right.
I know.
Yeah, but I have to say, like this year, it was beautiful last year. This year it's bumped up another notch. And I mean, I don't know if they're still planning changes for next year, but it's a gorgeous show this year.
And you're playing Mrs. Cratchit,
I play
right?
Mrs. Cratchit, yes.
Wow.
Fun.
It is fun.
Okay, so you're going to teach us a little routine from the show?
Yes, so there's a number called, what's the date of Christmas?
December 25th.
December the 25th, that's right. And actually, at the entr'acte in the middle of the show, after
I was like,
intermission.
is this a trick question?
I know. I was like,
Sorry,
wait a minute.
I thought you would know the answer.
On which side of the equator, on the other side of the date line?
I know, I was like, I don't.
Right.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, but if you come to see the show at right after intermission, they actually do a whole audience participation that everybody gets to sing the song.
Okay.
Because it's super simple. The chorus goes, December the 25th, my friends, December the 25th, the dearest day of all the year, December the 25th. So it's like December the 25th. And so I just wanted to teach you the dance move associated with December the 25th.
Okay, let's do it.
So let me show you.
All right.
So I'm just glad that we're
quickly.
not having to sing and dance.
Oh, no.
Because
Well, I mean,
I don't know if they's all ready for that.
Are we standing? Okay.
if you decide to be an overachiever, you can actually, Marshall. So I will just literally teach you. I have to say, this is Spencer Lift's choreography. Spencer Lift was on How You Think You Can Dance, and he's like a well-known choreographer, and he's incredible. So this is just this little lick. Watch it first.
It is. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.
We're getting notes about
Okay.
our we're getting notes about our mic packs, and I'm like,
Right. I'm like, okay, I think
I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good too. So.
Okay.
So the word's December the 25th, right? We just go December the 25th. Hop. Okay?
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Okay. So let's break it down.
Okay.
The hardest part is you want to start on sem, not duh.
Okay.
So December the. So ready, go?
Yeah.
December the. Good. And then other hand, 25th. And then just kick the other foot. Yeah. So December the 25th. Kick. Nice.
Oh.
Okay. And you can do it with the.
See, we could be Rockettes.
You could.
Totally.
And if you want to be fancy, you can do it on the other hand, right? December the 25th. Ha! See? Melissa, you got a future in showbiz here. Yes. So shall we all do it together?
Yes.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Indeed.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8. December the 25th. Ho!
I didn't get it, but
All
yay!
right.
How you feel good?
Yeah, no, that was much better than I was expecting.
I got
I
you.
was having a flashback to those PTSDs of High School Musicals, and
He was like starting to sweat a little bit, getting like really nervous.
I wanted to go easy on you the first time. Now that I see your level of proficiency, you'll have to have me back and I'll teach you something harder.
Rockettes, watch out! Here we come.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. You ready? Hold on. We're gonna kick. Ready?
Which way we kicking?
Right.
Oh.
Left.
Yeah, you gotta get the median, right?
All right. Who needs to see the Rockettes when we're right here?
That's
folks?
right,
That's
here in
right.
Arizona.
Okay. So I know you're constantly doing stuff. So you're in this production right now. When do people? Does it end right before Christmas? After
No,
Christmas?
actually, we go through the 28th.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
so
perfect.
if
Okay.
you've had your eggnog, you've opened your presents, you're like, I need something to do the next couple days. We don't have any shows on Christmas Day, but we have the 26th, 27th, 28th.
That's nice. You don't have to do a show on Christmas.
No, we don't. Yeah, it's great.
That's good. Awesome. So what's next for you after this production? I know you do the Bridge Initiative.
That's right. Yeah, I'm producing some shows in January. And then I'm also working on a documentary film that I'm in
awesome.
the editing phase of. So.
Yeah, I've been following that journey. How's that going? Everything coming along?
I mean, I've never produced a film before, so it's a huge learning curve, but it's going great. I think we have the footage all at this point, so we're walking into the edit, and I'm just trying to figure out how to put the story together now that we have all the beautiful footage, because we went to Indonesia for it.
Super cool.
So,
Yeah. Well, when you've got like a trailer or something that you want to show, we'd love to have you back and
exactly.
learn more about your film project. That's really
Sure,
cool.
yeah.
But for those that maybe want to come see you now as Mrs. Cratchit,
That's right.
Where can people get information about going to a show?
Well, so atc.org is the website. We're doing Scrooge, so you can just look on the ATC website for the Scrooge big banner and click on there for tickets. We're here at Tempe Center for the Arts through the end of the month, through the 28th of December.
Awesome. Well, Brenda, thank you so much. It's always fun having you on.
Yeah, it always is.
Yes,
I
Marshall
mean-
can rest now.
That's
and
right.
not,
Exactly.
I'm glad I didn't make your nightmares come true.
No, it's been a dream having you on. We are going to be right back after one more break. We're going to I will be ready to do things to do. I know.
Oh.
Isn't that remarkable?
Indeed.
And we'll also talk about some things that you can celebrate today other than
Exactly.
having good solid manhole covers.
Right.
So-
Heavy manhole covers.
Yeah. We'll be-
'Cause having a heavy manhole cover is important.
That's very important. We'll be right back after this break.
And welcome back to the morning show, coming to you from the Arizona Center. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We've had so much fun with our guests.
Yeah.
From some heavy topics to a little light dancing.
It's
we do it
all
all here.
good.
We do it all on the morning
Exactly.
show.
And heavy manholes.
Heavy manholes. That's going to be your go-to from now on.
Pretty much.
How often can Marshall work in manholes? Take a drink every time Marshall says manholes.
Heavy manholes.
Heavy manholes.
Not just
All right.
manholes, but heavy.
Jeez. Well, we are going to start wrapping up our show since they are.
Oh, and you know, a great way to end is, so tell me some things we should be doing.
I will gladly tell you some things that you should be doing. I'm going to check in to make sure that you've actually done all of these things on the list because they're that amazing. Actually, one of the things is on East Valley. I don't know if you'll make it out that far, but Black Rock Coffee Bar is doing a grand opening in Mesa, and they are offering $2 drinks all day long. They do delicious specialty coffees, energy drinks, smoothies, and teas. And so they're going to be located at 1825 South Mesa Drive. You can grab a $2 coffee from them anytime today from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. So get your coffee fix.
Wow.
$2. Yeah.
Indeed.
Celebrate. Congrats
Yeah.
on your grand opening, Black Rock Coffee. That's exciting. This one has been keeps rising in popularity. It's creating wood-burned charcuterie boards. So this is actually about creating the board itself. But
okay.
I've seen so many people taking the charcuterie classes and creating these edible works of art. It's amazing. But you can basically make a one-of-a-kind board, and it's only $39. That is not bad.
Wow.
I don't
pay that
think.
much for the board.
Yeah, you use a vinyl stencil, you get a burning gel and heat gun, and your design basically lasts forever. It's an 8x16 pine wood board, and you seal it. And this is something you can make for yourself. You could make it as a gift if you haven't gotten somebody a gift yet in your family. So it's at Craft Night Studios off of Shea Boulevard. We actually had Craft Night Studios.
We did. I remember that.
I was out traveling, but you guys got to hang. And it's from 6:30 to 8 p.m. So go visit our friends over at Craft Nights and make a customized charcuterie board.
Indeed, and you can just take it around with your holidays, plop into a party with a lovely charcuterie
Plop.
board.
Just plop it.
You just plop it in.
Plop it.
Indeed.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be kind of heavy because it's going to have all that stuff on it.
No, I know. I just like the way you said it. So this next person, Marshall thought was part of the Brady Bunch for some reason. He is not, but Brian McKnight is in town, and again, my neck of the woods in Chandler.
Wow, thanks for airing my dirty laundry that I got whatever Peter Brady's real name is mixed up
good.
with someone else, with this man. Obviously he is not.
This man is a sex.
Wow, you're going back to an earlier
I'm going back
guest.
to Courtney.
Wow.
16-time Grammy-nominated R&B master, Brian McKnight. He is going to be at Chandler Center for the. I can't talk. We should.
Oh, is he going to be at Chandler Center for the Arts?
Chandler Center for the Arts. Yeah.
Oh,
cool theater.
it's a great space.
Yeah. Tickets range from about $52 to $200, and you can get tickets on Ticketmaster. Okay, we're sticking with music. So have you seen the Japanese taiko drummers here? Yeah, pretty spectacular. They do perform around at different events and celebrations and things, but they are doing the Experience Taiko, Feel Your Body Through the Beats in Mesa. It's going to be on Saturday, the 21st, from 3 to 4:30 p.m. And basically you can come in and unleash your inner rhythm and build incredible strength, become part of this sort of community. It's $20 per person. It's open to the whole family. So
fun.
Yeah, if I had a family, I would drag everybody
that's one thing
to
where
go
I've
do
been
this.
to drum circles, and it's so great in kind of that environment to get everybody involved and see kids. I mean, when they first start, they're just kind of not quite sure what they're doing, and you can kind of see their self-esteem building as they're doing it, which is really cool.
It is really cool. So, and we were actually talking offline that we're going to try to get them in the studio to do a demonstration, because it is really cool to see. It's it's not just drumming. There's like
there's a whole thing into it.
Yeah, it's an art form that they do. So pretty special. Okay, we're getting a little bit now into some holiday fun things to do. So Gilbert, the islands at Gilbert. I don't know if you're familiar with that area.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty neighborhood. They do a boat parade every year. So it's put on by their community association, and it's on Lake 1 and Lake 2. And there's just going to be decorated boats and a competition. And it's just, I always love these.
They named their lakes 1 and 2?
Well, it's obvious. At least you know what it is.
Okay.
Like thing 1 and thing 2.
Well, that's exactly where I went. I was like, it's like thing 1 and thing 2. I was like, well, this one has the tidal wave. It's in thing 1. Typhoon in Lake 2.
Okay. No typhoons. This is also on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. It's free. So if you don't know,
I like the sound of that.
I know, we like free.
Yeah.
If you don't know where the islands are, it's 825 South Islands Drive in Gilbert. So yeah, I think we're doing the Tempe boat parade. I don't think we're doing the Gilbert one this year. Okay, and next up, it's all my favorite things: blankets, bingo, and besties. I like how you're
out
trying
in
to figure out what
well,
it is.
I'm thinking you're gonna play bingo in the desert while laying
face was like,
all on
what are we doing?
I was like beach blanket bingo
You're
in the
knitting.
desert.
You're hand knitting a chunky chenille blanket while sipping on some bubbly with a bunch of your pals. So you can bring friends, you can bring your own beverages, BYOB. They're gonna play some bingo, and then you get.
So there will be bingo. I was like,
Yeah.
you lied. There is no bingo, but there is.
No, they're playing bingo, and you get 5 skeins, it says, and then you can pick out your yarn colors and buy more if you want to, but you just kind of sit in community and knit your blanket, which that's happening on Sunday at Hammer and Stain in Tempe, and it's $80 to participate, but that includes, all the materials and stuff that you need to actually make the blanket. Right. So, yeah, I still think that probably in 10 years that'll be a hobby I take up because that just feels like something I should do. Knitting.
I tried crocheting.
I know we both didn't do well with the crocheting.
Yeah, because it's too systematic, and I kept
really is.
like dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, the next 2 are if you feel like traveling this weekend. So, if you want to head to Prescott Valley, they're doing "It's a Wonderful Life," a 1940s radio show adaptation. Yeah, doesn't that look cool? So you're basically stepping back in time when radio broadcasting was king, and it's all just like it's the classic story of "It's a Wonderful Life," but as if it were a radio show.
Right. So it's going to be like something like old timey.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be pretty neat. It is December 21st from 3 to 5 p.m. at Prescott Valley Performing Arts Center, and tickets are $25. So kind of a good deal. Yeah. Get a little in colder weather.
Right.
And then the next one, I feel like this should be for Halloween, not for Christmas, but we are encouraging you to think about spending some time in a yurt in Goblin Valley. Doesn't that sound idyllic? So if you don't know what a yurt is, it's modeled after a traditional nomadic tent based out of Central Asia. And the yurts were the first of their kind in Goblin Valley in Utah State Parks, and they're pretty popular. So it's furnished, it's equipped with heat and a swamp cooler. You get some cozy things in there, and you get to cook. There's a grill outside. So this is kind of like you want to camp, but not quite all the way rough it.
And it's not quite glamping.
It's not quite glamping.
There's no chandeliers involved.
No shandies.
So
no. So it's kind of that middle of the road.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What would you call that? Middle of the road kind of anti-glamping?
No, it's not anti-glamping. I don't know. I feel like everyone should stay in a yurt and have like a deep reflective conversation with themselves at least once in their lives. Like, I don't know.
As they're licking toads and other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what yurts are good for. Toad licking, some toad licking.
Toad licking my lurk. There you go.
Okay.
Well, it's also National Ugly Sweater Day.
Which you didn't warn me about, or I would have worn.
Well, I didn't know
ugly
till
sweater.
really early this morning, and I was like, okay.
This sweater, this is fabulous.
I was like, so that's why you get this and a bow tie. So I would have done that anyway, but.
Maybe we'll just wear an ugly sweater on Monday, proactively celebrate.
I mean, I can make one. I mean, I don't own an ugly sweater. I just make them.
Okay, Marshall's gonna make one. I'm gonna wear one of
and
like
it'll be
my
really,
7.
it'll be really ugly.
Yeah, I should change. Like every segment, I should put on a different.
Oh, like a
ugly
Cher
sweater.
concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having costume changes.
Or Usher. Usher was like Cher, basically.
Oh.
Okay. Yes.
So you've got that. It is also Go Caroling Day. So
Today.
On the 20th, yes. I don't know why it's not on the Saturday, but why is it on Friday? I don't know. I think it's always on the 20th.
You don't see a lot of carolers in Arizona.
You don't, and I don't know, and nobody really offers you a beverage if you're outside their house singing.
Our weather's nice. Like, why wouldn't there be more carolers? It would be easier to carol here than in places with snow and stuff.
I agree.
That's interesting. Should we start a caroling group?
Although, it is also National Sangria Day.
Well, that's better.
So, exactly.
Sangria.
So, take some
Carol,
fruit.
Sangria.
Maybe I'll just stop caroling and just have some sangria. I'll sing to myself.
I'll sing to myself.
I'll use the inside voice.
Have a pleasure date with yourself.
I'll use the inside voice as I just down some sangria.
Yeah.
With the secret of a good sangria, a little bit of brandy.
Huh. I don't think I
So
would have
that's
that.
so that's I was
Okay.
like I was talking to it's like I forget what restaurant, but it was like, why is your sangria so good? Not because we put a little bit of brandy. A little bit of
I
brandy.
feel like a little bit of brandy is the secret to a lot of good things.
I would believe that. Now it is also dot your I day, because dot your I's and cross your T's, and the whole goal of dot your I day is really just remember to do your best. And
Do your best.
Yeah, just make sure as you're writing it, bump, you just kind of
Like
get.
be thoughtful. Like
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And we're going to end on cathode ray tube day, because since we're basically people are watching us on a TV. Before CRTs were invented, they could only watch black and white.
Yeah.
But the CRT that was patented on this day back in 1938, gave people the world of color.
Ooh.
And
The
I mean,
Wizard of
and
Oz
those
moment?
big bulbous TVs. Now we have those little tiny TVs.
Yeah.
Very super thin, but the tubes were huge.
I remember the tubes.
Yeah, and with the big old chunky remote and
I
everything.
was around for the tubes. Yeah, I remember that.
Also an Arizona music group, but that's a whole other topic. So, all right. Well, it's been one heck of a great week.
It has. It's been a really amazing week. Thank you all so much for joining us.
I mean, the fact that we're back here with you all in these lovely digs of Arizona Center, having some really cool guests.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep doing it. We'll be back here next week.
Exactly.
Whole
We'll
new
see
lineup
you
of
on
guests.
Monday.
We'll see you on Monday.
Right. Yeah, we're not going to keep repeating the same guest every week.
I love them, so I mean, I'd be okay bringing them
Yeah.
back. But no, yes, we will have brand new guests. Have a great weekend. Please do something joyful and celebratory. If you do something that we talked about on the show,
Yeah,
hit us
let
up,
us know.
let us know.
Yeah, or
tag
you
us.
can always hashtag us and
Please
send
do.
us your photos.
And if you're not following us on Instagram, we do have a brand new Instagram account on The Morning Show. Please follow us there
And what is that?
on The Morning Show.
Oh, on the morning show. Well, there you go.
At On The Morning Show. So yeah, we'd love to connect with you. Until then, we will be back with you on Monday morning. Have a great weekend.
Bye.